Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat?
We are here, of course, at Media Row for the Super Bowl, and it was it's interesting because a lot of times in a game week, players have and coaches have set media availability throughout a game week, and it might be like a couple of days a week. Here it is. There's something every day. Like, for example, here on Thursday morning, Andy Reid and Travis Kelce met with reporters at 8:15 a.m. Then they went to practice, and then the Eagles came in shortly thereafter. But the point is, like, every day they're having microphones and cameras shoved in their face. And it's kind of wild because I was asking someone here with the host committee, there are 7,000 credentialed media members internationally for this game. 7,000. For context, like, I would think, like, for let's say like an LSU game or a Saints game, you probably have, when you're talking as far as the written media, like the print media, the press box, the field, depending on the size of the game, you could end up with several hundred credentialed media for an event like that. I mean, so 7,000 is insane. Now, they're not all here in this place in one moment, but it's still a giant number. So there is always availability, and then a lot of times guys end up getting asked and answering the same question. But Ross Jackson, who's doing an awesome job for us over at LouisianaSports.net, he's kind of had this, unfortunately for him, he's had this like one singular lead, which is, hey man, do everything Kellen Moore. Because Ross is our Saints guy, and the next coach of the Saints likely is Kellen Moore, and he's coaching in this game. And so basically Kellen Moore's availability every day, and it'd be like a 40-minute block, and Ross is just sitting there just staring at him right in the face for 40 minutes, like every single day, and trying to, like, what different angle can you approach now? But one interesting thing that Kellen Moore said today, and Ross wrote about this, it's up at LouisianaSports.net. Again, everything at LouisianaSports.net is always free. No paywalls, no subscriptions, no freemium, none of that. So it's always everything free. Kellen was asked about his brother Kirby Moore, who is the offensive coordinator at Mizzou in the SEC. So he talked about his brother, praised him for turning the team around a little bit this year, and this quote from Kellen Moore today to Ross Jackson said about his brother Kirby, quote, "He's done an awesome job. I mean, they've had double-digit wins the last 2 years to turn that thing around, played a really high level on offense. I know he's going to have a lot of really good opportunities very, very shortly for himself." The very shortly for himself, probably a smidge tongue-in-cheek leading a bit there to suggest that if, in fact, Kellen Moore does become the Saints head coach, he will probably bring his brother Kirby Moore with him to New Orleans. Kirby Moore has been the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach for Mizzou the last 2 years. He's been a coach for a decade. He had Brady Cook the last 2 years at Mizzou. Of course, the offensive coordinator when Cody Schrader was there last year, which led the SEC 2 seasons ago. Luther Burden III the past couple of years, who's maybe a projected first-round pick. So really interesting comments there, and something to file away that, look, we know they can't officially name the hire yet, which is understandable. It can't be till after the Super Bowl. But when unofficially you know something is going to happen before it can be announced, Kellen Moore can even start putting together informally his staff and having those conversations. Now, that would certainly be a distraction from this week where we're talking about him getting ready for the Super Bowl. However, that's also something that he will have to do. And if it's his brother, it's a very obvious conversation. But something worth filing away and looking up that maybe Should Kellen Moore do what we all anticipate, that's accept the Saints head coaching job, that his brother, Kirby Moore, the offensive coordinator at Missouri, could very well be headed to New Orleans as well. And that, if it does happen, would open up a spot on Missouri staff, and so that coaching carousel would start to spin yet again. So something worth filing away and keeping an eye on.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.